How we doing, folks? Welcome in the Week 6 preview. I'm Jason Blakeney. With me, as always, Brady Aymond. And Brady, we're going to jump into it. Don't have a lot of time to waste. Got a lot of games here. Let's go ahead. We'll start in District 1A. Big district matchup here between Jay and Northview.
Yeah, Northview is coming off of a loss. Jay's coming off a win. Jay's got a little bit of confidence, but Northview is just one of those teams right now that I think they're head and shoulders above a lot of teams in that 1A, in that new rural league. So we'll see what happens. Northview finally, getting a chance to get into district play and playing a team that's kind of their size finally again, because they've been playing teams bigger than them all year long.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they react there, how much they buckle down, considering it is the first game of district play. Another first game district play tonight, District 1-3A. Catholic High is hosting Florida High. Florida High had some impressive wins early in the year, kind of hung with Lincoln a little bit. What do you see there?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting matchup, and I think these two teams, they won't admit it, but this is a big game for both of them because Madison County is kind of the leader, so to speak, in that district. And I think the winner of this game at least kind of solidifies that number 2 spot at the very least,
Right.
So I think this is a huge game, especially and Catholic has it at home is a big advantage for them, I think.
Yeah. District 1-6A. A lot of district games here, but maybe the one game that's not a district game, maybe the biggest game. Pine Forest travels to Madison County, who we just talked about being dominant in that district, 1-3A.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, give us an idea of how good Madison County is. You kind of said that in the wrap-up video the other night. Madison County will play Catholic later. Catholic's already matched up against Pine Forest, so maybe it'll give Catholic fans a little bit of an idea of kind of where Madison County is right now. And it's also a good game for Pine Forest because it's another big test for them. They go on the road for 4 hours and kind of get a chance to kind of see what they can do against a team, highly ranked in the 3A polls right now. I think they're number 2 in the 3A polls.
Right. All right. Go to District 2-6A real quick. Take a little jump east there. Navarre traveling to Choctaw. Another district game for them. It would be huge to go ahead and get the 2 wins against maybe the 2 best teams other than them in the district.
Yeah, I think this is it doesn't lock up the district for them by any stretch, but it's huge because they've already got Niceville in the rear view, and I think this is the second best team in that district behind Niceville. So if Navarre can get this one, I think it takes a big step towards winning that district championship.
Yeah, and another couple of teams that can take a step toward maybe winning another district championship. I feel like maybe this is the biggest game as far as postseason implications of the week, and that is Pace traveling to Pensacola High.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation where Pace has already played Pine Forest and beat them. If they beat PHS this week, they got the rest of the schedule is, Tate, Milton, and Scambia. It seems like that'll be a lot easier than going up against Pine Forest and PHS. Coach Lindsay is not going to tell you that they're going to lock it up this week, but beating Pine Forest and PHS in your first 3 district games is huge, and that'll give them, a really big advantage over everybody else.
Right. You talked about Milton and Tate there real quick. They're playing each other. Milton, they're 1-1, so they're still mathematically, they've got a chance here. They've still got some big games to play. But if they lose this one, they can go ahead and say that they're out of it.
Yeah.
And Tate at 0-2, probably out of the district race. What do you see here, and how does Tate, maybe moving back to that Rigby scrum, how does that affect the outcome of this game?
Well, I think it shortens the game for them, and it lessens the number of potential for mistakes. When you throw the football, as a coach says, you got 3 things happen and 2 of them are bad, So I think when you start to run it a little bit more, you slow the game down a little bit and you minimize the number of possessions, which in turn minimizes the number of turnovers you could possibly have. So I think that's going to help in that regard. But Milton's just too good right now on defense, and they're kind of that dark horse. They lost to PHS, but they win this one and kind of get some momentum going. They still have Pace. They still have Pine Forest on their schedule. They could jump right back into that mix.
Yeah, and a couple teams maybe aren't so much in the mix anymore, but finishing out the District 1-6A slate tonight. Washington traveling to Escambia to take on the Gators. A lot of turmoil over there in Escambia. How do you think Washington matches up with them?
Well, Washington's played well all year long. It's just their record doesn't show. They will play well against Pace. They had Navarre 7-7 in the 4th quarter. I think Washington matches up well. It's just a matter of confidence right now. They got to feel like that they can win. And this might be the game for them with Escambia having all those distractions. This might be a good one for them.
Yeah, I like the way Washington has played on defense, especially early in games. If they can continue that throughout an entire game and maybe get that offense on track a little bit, it'd be very interesting. I think they can pull that one out.
Yeah.
Now, the game of the week, and I think if you told somebody in the middle of last year this was going to be the game of the week this week, possibly for district championship, not even possibly, likely for a district championship. West Florida High goes to Gulf Breeze in District 1-5A. If Gulf Breeze gets a win here, they've already gotten Arnold win, who's probably the next best team in that district.
Yeah, certainly most athletic, yeah.
Wow, they would really shape up well for them. But West Florida, on the other hand, already has a district win on the road. Get another one on the road. How much confidence are you guys going to have out of this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the winner of this game pretty much locks up a playoff spot at the very least. There's still a couple more games to go for both of those teams, but I think these are the two best teams in this district you've kind of seen, and I think the winner of this game is going to assure themselves at least second place. Even if they stumble the rest of the way, I think they'll still be finished second. So this is a huge game. Gulf Breeze finally playing at home after playing their first 4 in a row. And like you said, nobody would have thought this would be the case, not given the past history of these two teams.
Right.
But they're combined to be 8-1 right now and playing the biggest game in the Pensacola area, and probably the biggest game for these two schools, well, for sure for West Florida ever. And Gulf Breeze, it's been a long time since they played a game this big.
Yeah, and how bad does it hurt Gulf Breeze that Mitchell DeCozen is out? Obviously, he's been replaced. He's got a guy in a spot that rambled off about $150 last week. So it's not like they can't move the ball on the ground. But maybe his leadership, maybe that misses a little bit in the offense. Does that work in the West Florida's favor, or does that matter?
Well, I think it works in West Florida's favor, especially in a game like this. I mean, Chandler Foxworth did a great job last week against Northview. What is he going to do against West Florida in a very big environment, in front of a homecoming crowd, in front of the first home crowd of the year, in a game this big? Will he fall back to some of those sophomore mistakes? We'll see. I mean, maybe this kid's just, a lot better than maybe, we're expecting him to be as a sophomore. But, yeah, I mean, at some point, not having that senior leader on the field is definitely going to hurt Gulf Breeze. But, they played well without him last week, and I think that as a team, they're just very confident. They've kind of shown that they're not just Mitchell DeCozen. They're just a good group of players right now that kind of believe in themselves.
Right. It's a prime example of two teams playing as a team. No real stellar standout stats so far this year, but everybody doing their part and making sure that teams get wins. So that's our slate for tonight. Join us tomorrow for our post-game video. We'll tell you what we got right, what we got wrong, and how all the games came out. I'm Jason Blakeney. This is Brady Aymond, and we will see you tomorrow.